Welcome to the Towering Tropical Church Mango Rum Football Update, where I get to talk about all things NFL, as usual, brought to you by Mango Rum, which is so good and good for you. Here we are in week 3, but before we jump into that, let me just say these few words. Jets, 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 Jets. That's right, beating the Patriots on Thursday night in front of a national audience. Yes, this Jets fan very happy. We're on our way, folks. We're on our way. So let's dive right into what's going to happen in week 3. We got 5, I think, intriguing matchups. The first one, well, let's talk about a battle between two teams that we never thought would be undefeated going into week 3. We're talking about the San Diego Chargers going into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Now, we all know that the Steelers are going to be starting Justin Fields because Russell Wilson, he got boo-boo and can't play. Justin Fields is 2-0. I'm liking the way he's looking. He is not turning the ball over, and they've got a tremendous defense, but then they usually do. For the Chargers, yeah, very surprising that they're 2-0, but that just goes to show you what Jim Harbaugh can mean to a team in terms of mental toughness and doing the right thing. How do I see this game going? I mean, J.K. Dobbins has got a 266 yards already for the Chargers. That ain't gonna last long. But this is gonna come down to what happens with Justin Herbert. High ankle sprain, going into Pittsburgh, taking on that defense with T.J. Watt. You got a high ankle sprain, you're pretty immobile in the pocket. You got a target on your back that says, sack me. Not a high scoring game. Like one of those like 17-13 jobs. And I like the Steelers to be on the top side of that 17. Go Steelers. Yes, Sean, I'm picking the Steelers to win. Another battle between two teams that are 2-0 that nobody really expected. We got the Houston Texans going into Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Yes, the Vikings are 2-0. Why? Believe it or not, it's because the play of Sam Darnold. Yes, that's Sam Darnold. When last seen on a regular, he was like getting sacked with the Jets and going down in flames with the Panthers, who are still going down in flames. Meanwhile, the Texans, they're doing very, very well at 2-0, but they haven't played their best game yet. They're actually going to be missing their newly acquired running back, Joe Mixon. I think he's got a high ankle sprain, so he's going to be not playing. How do I see this game going? It's going to be feeling really weird to say this, but go Sam Darnold. They're playing in Minnesota. Sam is playing well, still throwing has an occasional turnover, but he's playing with confidence, and he's got Jefferson. What's his name? Justin Jefferson. Yeah, they've got him. He's really, really, really good. This is going to be a high-scoring contest, but I like the Vikings. Who knew? To go 3-0. I know, right? Sticking with ex-Jet quarterbacks doing well, we got the Miami Dolphins going into Seattle to take on the Seahawks and Geno Smith. Yes, that's right, that Geno Smith. Remember the cat who got punched in the jaw back in 2015? He's like the third year, starting for the third straight season for the Seahawks. He's putting up some pretty good numbers. Meanwhile, the Dolphins, as you know, they're going without Tua, who's placed on IR with a concussion. I believe they're going to be without their top running back, Mostert. But they do have Skylar Thompson at quarterback. Yes, that's right, that's Skylar Thompson. Seattle, I didn't really think they were going to be 2-0, but DK Metcalf has got he already caught 15 balls or 20 balls or something, and he's just blowing shit up against everybody. How do I like this game going? Even though the Dolphins have had extra time to prepare, it is really, really, really loud in Seattle. They're playing well. They're playing mistake-free football for the most part. They're not afraid of the Dolphins. They're not afraid of Skylar Thompson. So I like Seattle to win that one. Let's jump on over to the NFC South, where the New Orleans Saints, who are also 2-0, are taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, unless you were born or under a rock since Monday night, the Eagles blew a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. They made a very questionable decision on a third down pass. If they'd run the football, they might have won the game. That they threw the football, Saquon Barkley dropped the football. They wound up losing to the Atlanta Falcons, yada, yada, yada. Everybody in Philadelphia threatening to bang their heads against the Liberty Bell. Meanwhile, the Saints, last week, they went into Dallas and blew their doors off. Saints have scored over 90 points in 2 games. I know, this is the same team last year that looked like they couldn't get out of their way offensively. Now all of a sudden they're an offensive juggernaut. How do I see this game going? The Eagles, I mean, it's not as important for them to win per se, because NFC East is going to come down to whoever wins 10 games. But it's more about how they play. If they pitch a tent and fold, there are people going to be setting off bonfires in Philadelphia and starting in the locker room. Meanwhile, so they need to play well. And they're going to be without A.J. Brown. He's injured. I think it's his quad. So if any time that Saquon Barkley needs to step up, and I think he will, especially considering he blames himself for the loss, he's going to have a good game. But will it be enough to beat the Saints? I don't think so. Not in New Orleans, not with that gumbo. And all of a sudden, it looks like Alvin Kamara has found a fountain of youth, and he's back to being the big speed back that he was. So I like the Saints to win that one. The last game of the week, which I think is the most intriguing game, you've got the Baltimore Ravens going into Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Now, here's the thing. The Ravens are 0-2, and, they are playing for their lives right now. This is basically a playoff game for them, because if they go 0-3, your chances of making the playoffs when you start the season 0-3 are very, very small. Plus, after the Cowboys, they have to go up against the Bills, and then they got to play the Bengals. You think they want to go into Cincinnati at a potentially being 1-4 or 0-5? I don't think so. Their playoff run starts now. And I say to hell with that, Lamar Jackson running the football. You've got Derrick Henry. How about those Cowboys? Well, if you all saw them get blown out last week, they got run all over because basically their defense is predicated to playing with the lead, rushing the passer. Their defenders, they don't want to tackle anybody. They don't want to stop the run. They just want to get after the passer. They're all about flash. They're all about making money, not actually winning championships. So how do I see this game going? Well, there will be a D in Dallas this week. It's not going to be on the Cowboys side. The D stands for Derrick Henry. That's right, that 250-pound machine that the Ravens got and they really haven't used. I say to hell with Lamar Jackson running around all day. Just hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, and I think they will at least 25 times. And sure, the Cowboys will be like, yeah, we're going to tackle Derrick Henry. Yeah, that's going to wear off after about the 5th or 6th carry. They'll be like, mama, he a bad man. I like the Ravens to win that one. So there you have it. Now, how did I do last week? I had a good week last week. I went 4-1, bringing my record for the season up to 6-4. Yay! Above 500. So remember, watch the games. If you can't watch the games, well, you can go to the beach if you're living here in St. Croix. But if not, watch the games with your friends and your family or at your favorite watering hole. Have some beers, have some wings. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page here, and we will see you next week.